So welcome everyone. Tonight we're really pleased to be joined by drum roll, our new health coach, Olga Wheeler. um, so we have been busy at Olivia. You know how it's just Chinese New Year and they talked about the year of the horse. Well, at Olivia, it's the year of the patient, and we really wanted to look at how can we serve you guys best? How can we help you to achieve your health goals? And we know that it's not easy to lose weight. And so we decided that bringing on a health coach might be a useful thing for patients or for you guys when you hit a challenge or a snag, or you've got a goal in mind and you've struggled to reach it, or if you hit a bit of a plateau, or if you just need someone to call up and say, I'm having a bad week, I need some help, please. And if it's a month between your doctor's appointments, or you haven't got time to see the dietitian as yet, we thought this is where we can really help nurture you along throughout your weight loss journey. So tonight I thought we would introduce Olga to you, and also just get a bit of a sense of who Olga is, her background, and how she can help you to achieve your health goals. And then towards the end of the session, or midway through the session, we might have a little bit of a look at what are some of the areas that you're finding challenging at the moment. We can role play a little bit too, and look at how a session with a health coach might go, because we want this to be super practical and super useful. And we'd also love to hear from you. What kind of support do you need? What's the missing link? Where are you? If everything's going well, fantastic. Or if there's times that you've struggled or felt a little bit like, oh, I wish I had some help here, what would that be? So I want you to have that percolating in the back of your mind as we open and hear from Olga. But I'm just going to bring up the slides for us tonight. So just bear with me. And just going to download those and open. And welcome, Ruby. Now, Olga, you've just forwarded them to me, but in fact, it hasn't included the...
It's just a link further down.
Oh, great. Thank you.
The one that Sheila sent, yeah.
There we go. Yeah. Got it. Okay, I'll just go and do a bit of a screen share for us now. All right, so over to you, Olga. I'll be your hands and eyes and
my
ears.
driver. You can probably skip to the next slide already. So hello, everyone. And thank you so much for joining tonight. So my name is Olga Wheeler, and I'm the health coach at Olivia. I'm so excited to talk about working as a health coach and how I can support you in reaching your goals. So before we begin, a bit about my background. I'm a degree qualified nutritionist working in clinical practice for the last 5 years. I work with individuals who often feel stuck, frustrated, or overwhelmed when it comes to weight loss. So most people don't struggle because they don't know what's healthy. They struggle because life is busy, stress is high, habits are ingrained, and motivation wavers. Many of the people I support tell me, I know what to do, I just can't seem to stick to it, or I start strong and then I fall off track. So if any of that resonates with you, you're absolutely not alone. And that's exactly where coaching can make a difference. So next slide, please. What does a health coach actually do? So it's not someone who hands you a strict meal plan and tells you to follow it perfectly. We'll help you clarify goals, build sustainable habits, identify obstacles, and stay accountable. So it's more of a collaborative process. You're not being judged, you're not being lectured, you're being supported. So most people know what to do, they just struggle to implement it consistently. And that's not a character flaw, it's a skill gap. So coaching really helps bridge that gap. When we clarify goals, if you can skip to the next slide. Thanks, Doctor. We get specific. So instead of I want to lose weight, we define how much, by when, why does it matter to you? What does success look like beyond the scale? We look at energy, confidence, fitness, blood markers, amongst other things, because weight is not the only measure of progress. Then we create a realistic plan. We focus on sustainability and how healthy habits can become a routine part of your lifestyle. So instead of changing everything at once, we focus on small, high impact shifts. Examples like a 15-minute walk after dinner, or improving water intake, or increasing sleep. So small changes repeated consistently create real results. And finally, accountability. So regular check-ins keep momentum going. We review what worked, what didn't, what needs adjusting, and we adapt and tweak as required. So weight loss isn't linear and the goal isn't perfection. So coaching is more personalized. We focus on what you need and where you're at. So if you're interested in working together, here's how you can get in touch. If you skip to the next slide. Thank you. You can contact the clinic directly, or you can book on our website. And you don't have to have everything figured out. You just need to start the conversation. So I'd love to support you. And thank you so much.
Thanks, Olga. And so this service is complimentary. There's no extra cost. This is just a value add. We want to really make sure that, yeah, we just want to make sure that we help you to get to your goals. That's our obsession this year. So I'm keen to hear from you guys. Is this something that you think would be helpful for you in your journey? If are there times where you do feel that you're getting a bit stuck, or that you're hitting a bit of a plateau and you're looking for some different ideas? Yeah, keen to hear what other things you need from us at Olivia to help you in your weight loss journey.
I'm gonna start if it's okay.
Yeah.
Hello everyone. I have my first appointment today with Dr. Monica. So it's my first step for this program. I just start with the kickoff start. Yes. And then it's because I don't know how to eat. I'm very disorganized with my meals.
Mm-hmm.
Never plan my things. Um, and I would love to learn to be healthy, because sometimes it's 8 p.m. and I haven't thought anything about what I need to do. I don't have kids, so I don't plan anything for kids, because sometimes with moms, they plan the food for kids and they add something. So no, I don't do that. Usually it's my husband who cooks. But anyway, the thing is, I want to just be healthy. I want to just have a real plan and eat real food. I don't want to just have a small, I don't know, milkshake and that's all. Just the protein milkshake and that's all. No, I want real food. So yes, I think that this is my goal, to learn how to do it. And of course, when I'm learning and I'm gonna start doing some activities or exercise, I'm going to just go my losing weight. Yes.
Yeah. Olga, I'll just ask you to unmute, darling.
There you go. That sounds so good, because I also love eating real food, not doing shakes. So they have their place, absolutely. But have you booked in with a dietitian yet, Carolina? Was that part of the conversation?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
yes. Mine is next Wednesday, and also with the training or the exercise is also next Friday. So
Okay.
next week I have my next appointment. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
But
So I can contact
sorry,
you.
but
Yeah.
during this time, I don't know how to start because I don't have any tools or anything. Yeah.
Okay. So I can contact you on Monday if you like, and we can have an initial conversation. But then, based on what the more thorough dietary things that come from the dietitian appointment and the exercise, we can make a better plan. But we can have an initial conversation and see where you're at, and maybe start making a few changes since you're so motivated to get cracking.
Sounds
If
good.
that sounds
Thank you
good.
for that, Olga. That
Yeah.
sounds
So
good.
I can give you a call on Monday afternoon.
Great. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah. And normally, when a patient joins Olivia, they have that initial with the doctor and then see the dietitian not long after that, normally within the week. But you're right, there's, we try not to overwhelm you as well. There's a lot that goes on in that initial consult, isn't there? You come out going, oh my gosh. So for us to go, all right, here's this, and then here's your dietary plan, and it's a bit too much. So there's a little bit of a reason for spacing it out. But I agree, the dietitian will really be helpful for putting together a dietary plan, but Olga will be able to help go through, okay, what are the incremental changes that we can make, and let's get a few things started before you see the dietitian, and it all builds on each other. And so Olga's purpose there is to be that thread, that between those consultations, that if you've got extra questions and you haven't, hopefully you get exactly what you need from that consult, but if there's other things that come up afterwards, you're like, well, hang on, but I hadn't thought about this. That's where Olga can really be of help to you, and even just as an accountability and check-in as well. So we kind of have about 5 appointments in that early 3 months to help get you underway and get you rolling and make sure that you got what you need. But if you needed some extra accountability and checkpoints between that, that's also where Olga can help too. Yes, Victoria. Oh, Ruby first and then Victoria.
Sorry, Victoria. I'm similar to Carolina as well. I've started just towards the end of last year, and Dr. Sheepers, and also I've seen Sarah 3 times. In terms of following the process, what I was advised to do, and I have been advised to take one meal replacement, but I'm really struggling to find the time when I should be having that meal replacement. I mean, I'm a teacher. I'm from the morning till afternoon. I'm at work in the classroom. Sometimes I don't even get to have recess, and which I thought I could have my meal replacement, could be like a recess thing, because I don't eat a breakfast in the morning, and I don't know if that's the right thing or the wrong thing to do. I do feel I don't have a good nutrition hygiene. And also, Olga mentioned something about sleeping. That's one issue of mine as well. So I think it would be helpful to know what strategies, what can I do? I'm on Manjaro. I have lost a couple of kilos, but I don't want to go back. I don't want to sort of not follow the right thing. And then once I lose the weight, I don't want to gain it back because of my bad habits.
Yep. So habit formation, I'm going to hand to you, Olga, because I'm sure you're going to love talking about habits.
Just more on a that with your actual question and about the nutrition hygiene and all of that. I mean, we can have a more in-depth conversation based on, I'll have a look at what the plan was from Sarah and from the doctor, and really take out of that and see what the intention was with that shake as well, and see where it would fit in. So it would be, I'd need to have a look and see what the intention with it was. Was it totally a meal replacement? Then maybe lunchtime. But if it was in addition to, just for extra protein or whatever it was meant to be, I will need to dig into it a little bit deeper. In terms of habits and things, it's really making changes based on your lifestyle and it's all good that I say, I want you to do 10,000 steps a day, and I want you to have breakfast at this time, and I can create the best plan, but if it doesn't fit in with your life, you're not going to do any of it. It's not going to be, so it's really going to be working with you to determine exactly what kind of things you think are achievable for you, and building on that and building on that and building on that. So it's called habit stacking, basically. So you bring in little habits, you make it a part of your routine, and then you build on it, and then make it part of your routine, and then you build on it.
That's great, because I think by skipping meals, and then by the time I come home around, let's say 5:30, I feel like I need something. I feel peckish. I want something. And then I end up eating probably things I shouldn't be eating by then. But I just don't know how to go about, what process, what routine should I be following to not fall in that trap.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think this is where, like, developing your plan with your doctor and your dietitians are really good. And where Olga really comes to the fore is, okay, now how do we implement that? Because it's all well and good to have that, but how does that work in my lifestyle? And, something unexpected has popped up. How do I cope with that? So this is life, and it's the learning how to manage those habits and the nutrition in the long term that's going to help set us up for success in the long term. So again, if you'd like to make a time with Olga as well, it's complimentary, and we can reach out through reception. We've got some booking things coming up onto the website, but that's coming probably today or tomorrow, or probably tomorrow or Friday now. So in the meantime, if you wanted to reach out to reception, they can help get you booked in. Olga starts, should be here every day, Monday to Friday, as of the 2nd of March, and doing 3 days next week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So she'll be available, full time basically.
Well, Ruby, I've got your name, but you said you're a school teacher.
Yes.
So would you want like an after hours sort of appointment?
That would be great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I should be done. My next class is at 3:30, and I should be out of classroom by then.
Okay, perfect. So I'll say like after 4 or something like that.
Thank you.
All right. Perfect.
Thanks, Ruby. Victoria.
Hi there. I just wanted to say that I feel that I'm on a really good path. So I suppose my reason for joining was to maybe see if if there's any enhancements that I can make to make things a little bit easier for me. I feed my body, all the good food. So my diet is really good and healthy and varied, and, seeds, nuts, and vegetables and all of that. But I'm just wondering if there's anything that I can do to optimize my health. I'm regularly going to the gym. Thanks to you guys, you got me introduced to the Keiser group. So I'm like, absolutely love that. So thank you there. And so I am on a good path, but I think it's just that reinforcement, and maybe if there's any enhancements that I can do to help me along the way. And for me, it's a really long time goal. It's not, I've embedded, as you said, that habit stacking, and it's second nature to me now, which is, I've never been like this before. It's fantastic. I love it. I love my food, and I, enjoying what I'm eating, and I'm losing weight doing it. So that's where I'm coming from.
Amazing.
You're just giving
That's
me
so fantastic.
goosebumps there, Victoria. This is why we love doing this work, is seeing those transformations in people and building relationships with you guys over a longer period of time, and seeing you reach your health goals. So that's so cool to hear that. And you've actually just opened up in my mind. I always thought that this role would be actually about helping get people unstuck, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's, yes, affirming what you're doing and looking for, okay, well, what's the next small tweak? So over to you, Olga. What would you say about?
I think it's fantastic. And it's also good to see there's people at the start of the journey and people who already progressed in the journey and feel like they've kind of got it, really feeling good, amazing progress, but still think, oh, there's still improvements and tweaks that I might be able to make. So it's like, this is a thing. It's not like I'm there. It's like a constant journey of just improvement, and it's an incredible thing. So happy to help, and have a look at where you're at and see if there are tweaks that we can make. Maybe you're perfect and you don't need anything.
I doubt that.
And
but we can have a talk.
Yeah, the other thing is that we can be going along swimmingly, right? And then something can happen in life. So even just knowing that this resource is here, that Olga is there, should you need her, that you've got, someone in your back pocket that you can call or email, or just say, hey, I'm struggling this week. It's 3 weeks till I see my doctor. Let's make a time. We just want you to be safety netted and know that we've got your back no matter what. Yeah. Sarah, did you have anything you wanted to say? You don't have to.
No, that's fine. Hi, everybody. I'm a little bit like Victoria. I feel like I'm on the right path. I haven't been on this journey that long. It's only been 3 weeks for me. But when I first started, it was all very confusing, and my goal was to have this lifestyle change and be educated and educate myself. And I actually had a meeting with my dietitian, and it solidified that I did know what I was talking about, and that my eating habits and protein and exercise and movement and calories, I actually I was commenting in my appointment that social media says, oh, you should be doing this or you should be doing this. And I kind of let it overwhelm me a little bit. So it was really lovely to have that conversation with my dietitian about, no, this is right. Stick to what you know. So that was really good. But I think, my biggest worry is it's only early days, but I am a bit of a forward thinker. Um, I'm a busy mum of 3 boys. I work full time in a leadership position that's pretty full on. And I travel a little bit with work as well. And I'm studying my MBA as well. So,
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
just chucking a whole heap of stuff on myself. So at the moment, I've only just started my 7th unit this week. So I have been okay for the last 3 weeks. So I think, as we've already talked about, it's building those habits and adapting to that change. And I think that I would really love, Olga, some tips on, you can plan the most perfect week around eating, exercise, but it can be really, really chaotic and things can change. And how do you adapt to that? And I don't want to be sitting in front of my screen doing an assignment, eating a peanut butter sandwich. I want to kind of, so just learning to adapt and build really good habits. And then eventually, in, however long it takes, when I do eventually come off the medication, having those habits embedded as well, and that ability to adapt to the change that might be thrown my way.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you're on the right path, definitely. But the thing is, life happens, as we know, and it's what you do consistently. So yes, if you have that peanut butter sandwich one day, that doesn't derail all the hard work you've been doing. It's like a blip, and you just go, well, tomorrow's another day, and I'm going to do all of the right things, or all the
Yeah,
things that I've been doing that make me feel good, and so it's not you're perfect all of the time and you do all of the right things all of the time. It's life
yeah.
happens, and you might have a party or whatever, and it's as long as you're not partying every day.
I
You're
think
going to be
that's
fine.
important to hear as well. I think we're
Yeah,
really hard on ourselves. Like we
exactly.
have to be perfect. Otherwise, if we don't lose that kilo or that half a kilo that week, oh, that must have been because I did that. When it could be various
Your
reasons
body,
or
it could be
muscle or
so many different things.
yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, so no, and it's you're human, you're not a robot. And you've got to deal with everything that's going around you, and kids and everything else. And yeah, and it's really, that social media piece is also massive. Because it's easy to start comparing yourself and listening to all these stories and this and that, and just going, well, I'm on my own path. This is
yeah.
you, and you're different from everybody else, and your body's going to behave differently to everybody else's. And yeah, it's being kind to yourself, and you're doing the right thing already. So you've already made a massive change. That's already a big step in the right direction. So everything else is just going to kind of trickle along as it goes,
Yeah.
and you're just going to improve and improve. So I mean, 3 weeks in, it's early days.
Yeah, I know.
So,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Thank
Yeah, all
you.
good.
And we have a saying, it's what you do most of the time that counts. So if you're eating peanut butter sandwiches most of the time, you're going to be in trouble with your weight. But
It might
if
be
you're eating,
two peanut butter
yeah, I know.
sandwiches.
Look, I'm using that as an example. It sounds like I'm honing it on, but I'm the chicken and a biscuit fan here, so don't stress. We've all got our thing, and so it's what you do most of the time that counts. So keep that in mind. If you're eating really well most of the time and we have a blip, it's okay. We don't expect progress over perfection. It's looking for the incremental changes, because they did a study recently looking at patients who who were using weight loss medications, and those who underwent behavioral change. And when weight loss medications were used and then stopped, there was an increase in weight. Now everyone was up in arms going, oh my gosh, these medications, they don't work, and they're bad news. Actually, no, they do exactly what we expect them to do, which is that they suppress your hunger and appetite when they're used, and they don't when they're not used, which means your underlying hunger hormones are still there in the background. That's the biology and genetics part. But the interesting part is that those who do behavioral change programs, they have more sustained weight loss, So what we try and do at Olivia is combine the two together, where we're changing habits, we're learning new ways of eating, we're solidifying those habits. But as soon as you start losing 5% of your body weight, the body thinks you're going through a famine, and it actually dials up those hunger hormones, which is typically what causes weight regain. So then it's a conversation with your doctor around, so what is the role for medication for me in the long term? Is it that I only need a certain dose to get to my goal weight, then I need a dose to maintain? Or do I use a dose to achieve my goal weight, then I reduce, and go off to nothing and see how I go with maintaining that? And that will depend on your previous weight history, your family history and genetics, how many weight loss attempts you've had in the past, how much weight you're trying to keep off. Yeah, so I'm not going to give individual advice about that, but they're the things to consider. But the point is, when we're changing habits, when we're, working on these lifestyle changes, you're going to get more sustained weight loss in the long term. So, any other sort of questions or scenarios or challenges that you might be having at the moment that you thought you'd love to get Olga's help on? Is there a habit that you're trying to work on at the moment?
Craving sweets for me all the time. And I try to stay away. It's just, it's not working.
Olga.
Well, cravings are powerful. So it's trying to redirect and see if we can substitute for something maybe that still satisfies that craving, but is a better option maybe. So we'd have to look at really take a more thorough history, but yeah, generally the medication can be helpful with the cravings, dialing it down. So it still sounds like early days for you as well. So it's probably hasn't kicked in fully yet. But yeah, we can talk about exactly what's happening for you and try and redirect or have a swap that's satisfying that, can help with that.
And that's where, Olga will have access to all of the health history there as well, and the notes from the GP and what medication you're on. And Olga's done some work inside a bariatric clinic as well with the bariatric surgeon, so has a lot of experience around that and understands how the weight loss medications work and the adjusting of those doses. But as a bit of a framework for how we work at Olivia, we try and dial down those hunger hormones first of all with the medication. And then the habit stacking comes on top of that, because in the olden days, it used to be you've got to track your calories, you've got to use all your willpower and all these other strategies to try and not eat these high calorie foods, which was relying a heck of a lot on willpower and ignoring the biology component. So that component is strong, so we really try and dampen that down first of all, and then once that's under control with and not everyone uses medication, by the way, but if you are, once that's under control with the right dose of medication for the right length of time, it takes 4 weeks for any dose to be effective. So we want to wait until that's kicked in, and then that's for one particular level. And if it needs to go up, we wait another 4 weeks. So there's a period of medication adjusting and getting to the right level. But if we're satisfied that that's at the right level and there's still cravings, we have a look at, well, when are these habits, when are the cravings kicking in? Is it a certain time of night?
Triggers.
Yeah, the triggers. Yeah. Because sometimes it's not hunger driven. It's more a link in with sitting in front of the TV or a certain time of night, or I don't know. I find, when you get home from work, you're like, oh, I got through the day. That exhaustion or reward because I got through the day and I got my kids, all organized and I got through work. So looking at the triggers and then looking for the non-food substitutes as well. So instead of food, what else could I do? Is it have a bath? Is it which is my favorite thing to do? Is it go for a walk? So Olga will work through all those little those substitutions.
Yeah, and it's really about the triggers, really determining why that's happening and when that's happening. Because if it's happening because you're feeling emotional or sad or bored or we'll have, if it's boredom, we'll try and figure out, well, what can you do to not be bored? If it's because you're sad, well, that's can't just stop being sad, but do you know what I mean? We need to determine what the things do. We need to link you in with a counselor that can help you process those emotions in a healthier way. Or so there's all different avenues that we can go down depending on exactly what's happening for you. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Libby, I think you had a question as well.
Oh no, I've had years and years of very bad habits, of eating, like what you were saying about calorie. I always thought, the less you eat, the better. And yes, when I did that test with the muscle and, most of mine's fat, there's not a lot of muscle there. And you would think at my age I would know what is the right thing to eat, but I didn't realise how much protein that I should be eating. And and you're not hungry. And I would go sort of a little bit like, was it Victoria? No, it wasn't Victoria. It was, who's a school teacher? I would go sort of all day and then get home at 4 o'clock and then eat it. And then I was still hungry at 9, 10 o'clock at night and eating the wrong sort of foods. But yeah, since I've started, but what I did with Sally, she gave me a week, an idea for a week, how you can do it. And I said, oh, look, I wouldn't mind doing the 52 weeks, that's on there.
Yeah.
But then when I looked at it, I couldn't really understand it. Janelle's going to check with her about it because I couldn't work out whether it was 1 serving or 2 servings or 4 servings. That was a little bit confusing. It would be good to,
Yeah. We'll
I can look into that for you, Libby.
Yeah,
and maybe get back to you on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Is that all right? I'll have a look and see, if we can simplify it and see exactly what's going on for you.
I do like to, how do you put it? I'm not very good at organising things. Like, I've picked a few of the recipes and done that, but then I had a bad day today and they had prawns on special. So all I've done is eat prawns all day.
Protein.
It's protein. I thought, that's got to be good. It's protein. And I walked past 2 lots of pineapple chocolate eggs, which are my favourite, every Easter, which I usually demolish. And I walked past them today.
Well done.
That was a big win for me.
Yeah, incredible.
So this is a question I'd love to get your feeling about, because we often talk about meal plans, right? I've done Michelle Bridges and other things before, and I loved a good meal plan, and yet the experience from the dietitians is that in doing the meal plan, it's not many people stick to it. So my question for you is, do you find meal plans helpful? If you do you stick to them, and or do you prefer more guidance around here's kind of the guardrails of what to eat, and then you do that according to your own dietary preferences?
A little bit of both, because I've only like Sarah, I'm only 3 weeks, 4 weeks in, so I've only been on the medication for 3 weeks, so it's all fairly new. But I was always quite good if I know what I'm going to eat and I've got it already. Yeah, I prefer a meal plan.
Yeah. Would you stick to it 7 days a week, or would you just do the dinner meal?
No. Yeah, they'd have to be. And that's what Janelle and that said. She said, it's not meant to be rigid like that, but it's but I need a certain amount, I suppose, half and half.
Yes, yeah, that's our gut feeling as well. Is that it's useful to provide some guardrails and some ideas and a sample meal plan, but to give the flexibility that it works in with your lifestyle as well.
And I've been watching a lot of the webinars, which they're wonderful. Getting some great ideas out of that. So just having the time to, do it, and then I write it down. Get different ideas.
Thank you, Libby.
Thank you. How do I turn on this? No.
I can do it for you. Yeah. Anyone else have any comment about the value of meal plans, whether you prefer meal plans or sort of more guidelines to follow?
I'm similar to Libby. I think both together, like it's more of a plan to follow,
Yeah.
but also more of an ad hoc thing, just in case on certain days you can't follow the meal plan.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Thanks, Ruby.
I
Caroline?
think that for me it's because I'm new in this and in this program, and I believe that a meal plan will be great for me. That I have to start organize myself and doing at least for the week, and then just be strict with myself doing that. So I think it's valuable, yeah, for me.
Thanks, Carolina. And Victoria?
I was going to say when I first started out, I definitely needed meal plans. I needed to know what type of food that I was eating, what sort of portion size and prepping for lunches and things like that. So now I just have, I might see something if I'm flicking through Facebook or whatever, see a nice recipe and I might take that and adapt that to my needs. So I don't feel that I need that now, but definitely at the beginning, that was something that I needed.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had this wrestle inside of Olivia of are meal plans useful or not? Are they going to get used or not? But I tend to lean towards some structure is better at the start, and then you kind of flex towards learning what's going to work for you. Am I reading the room right there? I'm seeing some nodding of heads. Yeah. And given that Olga's a nutritionist, that's certainly something that we can look at, Olga, too. Yeah.
I do think that Victoria made a really good point about portion control, though. So I think it's really handy to have that meal plan to understand portion control because you can see your meal and go, that looks pretty healthy, but then eat much more than what you should. So I think a meal plan with portion control is really good for education purposes, especially at the start.
Yeah.
Did you get that, Sarah?
Pardon?
Did you get that?
I didn't know. I didn't know with my appointment. I kind of it was solidified that I was on the right track, but
Yeah.
I didn't get the portion control. So I've kind of been looking it up a little bit myself, but I would love some more education around that, Olga, if possible.
Yeah.
That would be great. Thank you.
Yeah.
The only other thing I was going to mention was also dining out, a social thing, and it was something that I don't want to give up. But how do I adapt? When I do go out for meals, and actually one of the side effects of the medication for me is I basically don't drink anymore. It's just a side effect. I just don't feel that I need to have alcohol now. So that's been a bonus for me. Occasionally still have a glass of wine and enjoy that, but it's not a big thing. But yeah, so going out and knowing how to eat when I'm out.
So I'll just direct you to, and this is exactly what Olga will do with you too, is we've developed a lot of these resources already to assist you with this. So this is on tips for eating out and healthy takeaway options. So this is within the members portal. I might just drop this into the chat actually. So what it goes through is, just how to balance things, because mentally we're like, oh, I can't socialize, I can't go out, I'm on, a weight loss program. No, we want you to still eat normally, but not over fast as well. Like, before that event, otherwise we get there starving, hungry, and that can bring us unstuck. It goes through the different cuisines as well. So Chinese, Greek, and what are some of the healthier options versus the ones to sort of steer clear of. Japanese, Spanish, Thai, Vietnamese. And then you've even got it broken down by takeaway options and what are some of the healthy options with your different calorie levels on there. So I direct you to that to have a little bit of a look at that resource. Guzman and Gomez, it's got everything in here. Nando's, grilled, Subway, Schnitz, Soul Origin, even McDonald's is on there, KFC. So do have a look at that. But again, I think that's where Olga, it's useful to have that information, but how does that apply to me? What are my particular circumstances? What's my habits around eating out or that I'm trying to work on? That's where Olga can help as well.
And also, if you've got a favorite, it might not be on that list. If you go, oh, I shop in these places, or I like this place, so we can have a look and see what's on their menu. That might be a good option. So we can sort of really get in there and see what works for you, what's nearby where you live, all of that kind of stuff. We can really get into it and see what works best.
Who's ready to book some time with Olga?
I think I've pretty much promised everyone I'm going to contact them at some point.
Yeah. Well,
I'm only calling one person on Monday, by the way, because it's my first official day. So, Carolina, your first cab off the rank. And everyone else will be later
on. So as I said at the start, we're here at your service. We have a value at Olivia, which is growth in all areas except our waist circumference. But it's more about how do we grow as a service to really make sure that we're providing you with what you want and need. So we really value your feedback. And yeah, one of the things we realized is that we need support in between consults, and we need help with habit changing and lifestyle change, and hence the beautiful Olga. And Olga, I just want to say how happy I am that you're working with us. You bring such a warmth and beautiful energy already to Olivia, and it's just, yeah, already been a pleasure working with you.
Thank you. Everyone's been amazing and so welcoming. So yeah, I can see it's going to be a great place to work, and I can't wait to meet you all in person and really get in there.
Yeah. So yeah, Olga will be a combination of telehealth and at each of our One Turner and East Melbourne sites. So yeah, you can give the girls a call tomorrow if you want to, or Olga will reach out as well and connect with you too. Yeah. All right, everyone. Thanks for coming tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you,
you,
everyone.
everyone.
Thank you so much.